So, hello and welcome everybody to today's Thursday Live. I am Denise Armenio, certified emotion code, body code, and group energy group facilitator. So happy to have you all here today. And I have Claire McIntyre helping me and Connie Minnis. So they will be manning the chat area. If you have any questions, please feel free to put your questions in there and either one of us will get to you and answer your questions. And today we are going to spend a little bit of time navigating how to create a library, how to use the remedy plate, and also how to add frequencies for a line item. So if anybody has any questions while I'm doing that, please let me know. In the process, I am going to share my screen here. And I don't know why it's telling me to turn voice isolation off, but we're gonna try. Anyway, I'm just gonna do, whoops. Let's just do Thursday Live. I'm not going to do a video for anybody, but a voice. I mean, this is where we would put our voice. I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to skip past that, and I'm going to skip and not do anything here. For an energetic affirmation, I will add all energies are transmuted into the frequency of pure love. And so it is. And just hit OK here. All right, and now I will just hit begin analysis. And I'm not hearing it, so I'm not sure what that means. Did you guys hear anything? I'm
really slight.
I'm just going to try a quick balance here really fast just to see if we could hear it. Do you hear it?
No.
Because I'm not hearing anything now. I don't understand.
Can hear it now.
You can? You sure that's not my telephone ringing? Sorry, I'm gonna have to turn that off in a second. Look, sorry guys, hold on. Sorry guys. Okay, are you hearing the no, you're not.
No, not at all.
I don't know where to get to.
Funnily enough, it seems to be picking up more of your background noise.
You know why? Because when I went to, let me stop sharing the screen for a second. When I went to screen share, it turned, see, I have original sound from musicians on, which is how it's supposed to be. But when I go to screen share and share sound, it says turn off voice isolation. But I don't want to turn it off. So I don't know what that means. So let's not do either of these things. Okay, can you hear it now?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Okay, well, at least we could hear it. And great, we had 58% rectification on that. So we all did good. Okay, so what I really wanted to go over mostly with everybody today is how to create a library. So how you do that is you would go into your back office, or you want to hit touch or click on these three navigation bars. Some people say it looks like a hamburger. Whatever you want to call it, these three lines bring you to your back office. So we can click on them. And now we can go down to libraries. You can see all these different areas here and just click on libraries. And from here, we can see that there's a plus button. So we can click on this plus button. That means we're going to add or create. And you can see up at the top it says create library. So I'm just going to just call this test Thursday live. Okay, and at the bottom I'm just going to hit save. So now we've created this library called Test Thursday Live. And now I can add items to that. So how do you want to add those items? Well, you can do a couple of different things. First, you want to select Add Items to Library. And it asks you to enter the item name. So you could add an item name. So I have three products here. So I'm gonna show you two different ways that we could add these. I have doTERRA On Guard capsules that we can, sorry, I don't mean to, it's hard to show it. So this is what we're gonna add. I also have these curcumin plus drops, and I have Bach Rescue Remedy. And I believe we have Bach in the main, but I'm not sure that Rescue Remedy is there. Anyway, even if it is, we're just gonna create a library with it. So the first thing I can do is I can type up here Bach Rescue, did I spell it right? R-E. Remedy, okay? And so I can just hit archetype encoding. This is one way to enter this product. The other way I could enter this product is, I'm gonna write it again, but Bach Rescue Remedy, and let's just say using remedy plate. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I have my little trusty remedy plate here. It's, well, not yet. I have to plug it into, it has the audio plug, so I plug it into the audio. This is my laptop, so it has an AUX port. If you're on your phone or tablet and it doesn't have the AUX port, you need to get a little adapter so you can plug it into either your iPad or iPhone or your Android, whatever the connector looks like. This is going to be a little annoying because I have to hold it up and try to make sure I have it in front of the camera. But so then what you would do is you can put the Rescue Remedy on top of it. And then instead of hitting archetype encoding, you hit imprinting test plate. And so now it's imprinting. Okay, and it says okay. So now we have that. Now, let's say, I'm trying to think, we can do something, another, let's just say we want to, I have a rife frequency. So let's just say, detox EMF. Okay. Now, I happen to have written down here what the right frequency is, so I wouldn't expect anybody to just like know it off the top of your head. I don't know it off the top of my head, but if you do know it, you can either enter this by hitting archetype encoding. Well, okay, so the right frequency for that, I can put the frequency down here and it's 99.50. And so you could keep it on 10 seconds. You could change it to 3 seconds. I'm going to keep it on 10 seconds. And then you can just hit frequency input. It's on frequency input and hit save. And now with any luck, when we go back and check, and it didn't keep it there. So the other way, which is how I do it a lot, is I just put the frequency here and I hit archetype encoding, and I'm trying to figure out why it didn't work the other way, so just give me a second. Okay, so we have detox EMF 99.50 hertz. Now let's just try that one more time. Detox EMF, and we could put down here 99.50, and I don't know why it's not. Let me change this. I just did this a second ago, so I don't understand why it's not working, guys, actually. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now it's showing up. I don't know why it didn't show up the last time. So anyway, so now I have detox EMF entered as a frequency input and as an archetype encoding. So there are times if we've gone to, I just want to show you, frequency, shape, and form. If you have more library items that you've inputted, let's say you've inputted them and you've hit archetype encoding when you've inputted it, you may want to keep this on activate archetype encoding. If you have a library that has mostly frequencies that has been imported, you might want to put it to activate sonic signature. So that's just a little bit of an example, and it does kind of tell you down here what it's for. It says sonic signatures generates a clean, measurable, known set or series of frequencies. For example, and it gives you a hertz example. And then for the archetype encoding is a sophisticated mathematical approach to sound generation techniques whereby any text can be converted to a harmonic vibrations and audio sounds. This is ideal when creating libraries with no known frequency values. So if you do not know the frequency values, you want to import using archetype encoding. So we could just go back to the libraries. And so now, where did that library go? Well, if we just go into search and we put test, you can see my test Thursday live library. And I have the 4 different items that I have inputted into here. So again, you could see for detox EMF, which is 99.50 hertz, I entered that as archetype encoding. And I've also have entered it as a frequency input, and I have the hertz there. So there's a few different ways that you can enter the information. I honestly have never tested the how one works back to back like that. Do you get better results from it being with the frequency input or archetype encoding for the same thing? Karen, do you have any studies or knowledge on that? I don't have any knowledge. I know that, well, unless it's like a Rife library, most of my stuff is inputted as archetype encoding because if they're affirmations or things like that. But I will tell you that I have often will just write the name of something like rescue remedy, and I find that I get just as much as a benefit as if I entered it on the remedy plate. Where I use the remedy plate most is if I'm going to transfer frequencies here. So you can go two different ways. So I can put my water on there, and now I can be imprinting. So that's a little bit. Claire, have you used it any differently than that?
No.
Nope. It's the same.
Sorry, yeah.
Karen, have you entered libraries any differently? I mean, that's basically how I enter my libraries. I know that Karen uses a lot when she has the structured water, and then she adds frequencies into that water. But you can also put like headsets around to enter to add frequencies to this. So Karen sometimes uses that splitter where you have the sound and the remedy plate. I think that's the difference that you do, right, Karen?
Yeah, I think that's
Claire.
sort of
Yeah, that's actually how I do
I
it.
can't hear you, Claire.
I was gonna say that's how I do it. I use a Belkin or a Helix
I
6
can't
port
hear you
splitter.
either, Karen. How come?
Don't
Is
know.
everybody muted?
no.
Nope.
Oh, I had this plugged in. Sorry. You guys, I saw your lips moving. Okay, so Karen, do you use it any different?
Yeah, usually what I do it two different ways. I've got a Belkin or it's called a Helix. It's a 6 port splitter,
Right.
and then use that onto the plate. The other thing too, from a distance, what I do is I have the clients put their headphones on. So there's
Right.
an idea. Yeah.
So mine isn't quite as big as that, but you can use, I can't plug it in now because then I won't hear you, but I can plug this into the remedy plate and headphones and use it that way. So, does anybody have any questions while I'm here in any of that? I don't know if any of these have been answered yet. So, Claire, did you answer these questions? Let me just read through it.
Margaret's just saying that if you've got the one that you would wand water first and then imprint the genius,
Right.
which is what I would do.
So, yes, that's what I would do most of the time as well. Um, so does everybody kind of understand how to create libraries? Creating libraries is so simple. If anybody uses affirmations that they love, you just need to type in the affirmation and hit archetype encoding, and it creates the library pretty much itself for you. So if anybody, is nervous about creating libraries, it's pretty straightforward to do it. I can move on and just, if anybody has anything else they want me to talk about today, since I kind of, I'm not, we're halfway through, but I haven't really done any type of a scan. I'm happy to, if you need instruction on something else to try to teach what you may have
Me.
interest in. Karen, your hand is up.
Just for those people that are new, I think it's really important just maybe to go over the import and the export. And then when we use a bulk code to hit the bulk, not the
Oh,
OK.
right. Yes, good point. I was going to do that and I completely forgot. Okay. So, when you want to share a library, so let's just say, let's just take my test library. I'm sorry, if I wanted to export that library, I'm going to go hit the T for test so I could find it easier. So I can just click test, and I can put in, and you put in and you have to put the Genius email in for someone, and then you just hit export and it will be sent. So then the other thing that Karen mentioned, which is really important, and I don't have a code to show you right now, but if you want to import a library, and you will get an email, and you just need to read the email carefully. It's either going to tell you you have a library share code, or you're going to have a master branch share code. For anybody that's purchased the bioterrain bundle, that is a master branch. So you couldn't enter the code here under library. Okay, that's only for single libraries. So let me just get out of this for a second, since I brought up master branch first. You would have to, if you want to import a master branch code, you would need to click on master branch and then click on import. And if it's just one master branch library, it's just one code, and then you want to click on OK. If I was sending you more than one master branch library, the email will say bulk master branch code. It will give you one code, and then you'll also see on that email the master branch titles and a code next to it. So the code next to the title is the individual master branch code. And if you entered it that way, you would put the code in one at a time and hit OK. If you add in the bulk master branch code, which is going to save you time, you put that code in here, and then you would hit bulk. But you're only hitting bulk if there's more than one master branch library title. Otherwise, you're going to get an error here. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. I don't have a code, so I can't really show you that. And then the same thing is going to happen for library versus bulk library share codes. Let's say a friend is sending you a bunch of different libraries, but they're not master branch. So in other words, they would export, and they would select on like a number of these libraries, right? Let's say they click on 5 and they're sending you 5 libraries. The person they're sending it to will then get an email, and it will say so-and-so has shared libraries with you. It will give you the bulk library share code, and then you would put that bulk library share code here, and then click on bulk, unless you want to import them one at a time, and you certainly can do that, but it's not as big a time saver. But if you imported them one at a time, then you would put the code in and hit OK. So that does that make sense to everybody? Does it help? If everybody just wants to give a Karen's saying yes, that makes sense. Okay, great. So is there anything else you want me to touch on here regarding libraries, or we can look in... Oh, I guess the other thing that's also important for me to show you, hold on, because now it's going to get me out of here. I know that I've seen some people asking questions let's just use Biotrain, because a lot of you have purchased Biotrain, which is a master branch. When you import that code, you're not going to see it right away, because created is highlighted here, and you didn't create it. So the only way for you to see that master branch library has actually been imported is if you click on the shared, and then you will see. So anything that's here under shared are master branch libraries that I've either purchased or friends have sent to me. So I hear a lot of times, I imported it, but I don't see it and I don't know where it is. So that's one way. The other thing that's happening is, let's just go back out here for a minute. Sorry, it's taking its time here. Okay, so the other thing that's happening, let's just go into custom libraries. I'm going to show that. So I have to hit begin analysis. So for me, if you've purchased Master Branch, you're going to see those libraries. You want to click on Master Branch in the search bar, and then it's going to highlight all the Master Branch libraries that you have. The other way to see it is if you select all, and then you will have your libraries and your master branch together. If you're just on library and you have master branch, you're not going to see them. Now, it's an exception for me. And the reason why it's an exception for me is because when I've created, let's say, the human body structure master branch or the bioterrain master branch, I've had to first create individual libraries. So for me, when you're viewing this, I can find the individual libraries from those master branch under library, but that's only because I created them. You didn't create them, and they're coming in specifically as a master branch. So now the other thing that I want to show you, and let's just use bioterrain as an example because I know a lot of you, have that. So you're going to see here bioterrain master branch. Now, that's the title of it. You want to see what's in the bioterrain master branch, you need to click on that. And now are all the 37 different libraries in the bioterrain master branch. And if you want to see what's in each of those libraries, you click on the line and then it takes you a step further. So there's levels there. So just know to keep clicking to see all the information on that. I hope that makes sense, because I see a lot of times people are like, oh, the update came and I don't see all the libraries there. You just need to make sure that you're looking in the correct spot. Now, with that said, it is possible sometimes, maybe with a new update, if you didn't, maybe you need to uninstall or reinstall or just log out and back in. Sometimes it just resets the Genius. But if it was there before, you shouldn't lose anything. And don't be nervous that you could lose the library because it's in the cloud and it will come back. So I would always suggest just log out, completely log out. And when I say log out, I don't just mean you're about to exit out of the session. This isn't logging out. To officially log out, you need to click on this little circle up here on the top left, and that's going to take you completely out, and you're going to have to log back in and then resync everything. So I would always suggest doing that after you do an update. Sometimes I know that when we do an update, it will bring you to this screen. I would log out just to make sure that everything resets. So when you go back in, it's all up to date. Did I confuse anyone? Is it making sense? Yes, we are going to be having a new update soon, so hopefully this should help everybody. And what else? Okay, so let's just say I can go into the scan that I just did without starting over by loading current client results. And it should pop up with the results that we just had before. So let's just see. I can just go through, if everybody wants, all these other little areas, if that's helpful. If we click on client profile, it brings us back here. I didn't mean to do that. Now we can go back into our back office, my profile. So if anybody ever wants to change their password, you need to know the old one. And then you can change your password and hit submit. If someone wants to be able to log in using their phone number, this is where you would enter your phone number, and you can put your country code in here by selecting the correct flag. System overview, I'm not going to click on that because it's going to bring us back out to the system overview. Report, this is a really neat place to go. If you haven't been here, you should check it out. There are these nice little graphs in here, but the part I like the best is to click on the top where it says quick overview report. And this will give you what the genius has pulled up from today's scan. So one of Cindy, I believe, from last week. Oh, I hope it is you, Cindy. And if you're here, thank you. Or Kathy, Kathy, I think this was you. She made such a great recommendation. I hadn't done this yet, but I really liked it. So I just wanted to give props to Kathy for it. You can't add to the main hold tray or quick zap from here, but if you take a picture and then you add all these items to the main hold tray, it is a nice little balance, and it does help support the aura. So it is something that you may want to do at the end, or if you're having trouble getting good results in your aura, we can actually try this. So just so we don't have to keep going back and forth, let me see, I'm just going to get my phone and take a screenshot here. And I'm going to just take it to the bottom as well. Okay, and so let's just try this. And so, and we can go to, so the first one was the Saveggio tones, and it's 639. And so it's not red, but the genius has highlighted it and it's right on the top. So let's drag that down. And then it's also given us Nogier C. So I'm going to add that. For the chakra, it's given us the sacral chakra. The Bach flower essence is this top one as well. They're not, most of the time it is the highest frequency, but not always. So just when you think you have it figured it out, and it was bilberry. And vitamins, it's telling us vitamin E. And just 1 second. Sorry, my son is making a little bit of noise in the next room. Then we have minerals, which we can add. And wait, there's one more page. Hold on, everyone. Amino acids is serene. So it is all the high value one that's going on for that day. And then we have, whoops, spiritual protection, which is cords cut. And then this last one, well, you can't see it here, but it says super conscious select. So it gave me envy, which is going to be in emotions. But if I were to go back into that report, that the last item is going to change. It's not always going to be the same one. Just an FYI. I'm not sure if that is by design, but that is, I guess, since it's the super consciousness select, it will come up with a different one every time you go back into it. So just FYI on that one. And I realized I didn't show us our aura picture. So let's just look at that. Okay, so here's our aura picture. And we can even look at the old version to see what that looks like. So just keep a little mental note here of what it looks like. And let's just run all of these for 1 minute. Can you hear? I have it on high. It's not very loud for me, so I can't tell. The other thing interesting that I never realized before that Ryan mentioned yesterday actually was that for the high, mediums, and lows here, the highs will play like 3 times as long. It goes 3, 2, 1, high, medium, and low. So the lows will play 1 time for every 3 times the highs are playing, and the mediums will play twice, if that makes sense. So running the highs, if you're running them all, the highs are going to be played 3 times more than the mediums and lows, just an FYI. So we had a great rectification here. Let's just see what our aura looks like and see how it shifts using the Genius 10 items that it has in Well, we might have to run it a little longer. I don't really love how that looks, but we can also switch to the old. It's probably working through a lot of stuff. So we can get out of this. We could go back and let's see. I would say, how much time do we have? We can run it. Maybe just run the highs here, and let's run it for 30 seconds and see what happens. So again, we had a good rectification here. Let's see how that has affected our aura. So I still don't like the outside area here, but it was showing a little bit better. Kathy is saying we may need to do a voice analysis. We did not do that, but so maybe it would have a bigger shift or difference if we did have that. So anyway, but these are just other things and other ways to work with the genius. So I really liked that suggestion that Kathy told me about. Let's just see biomarkers. I don't really use this part that much. Does Claire or Karen or Connie, do you use the biomarkers frequently when you're using the genius? Yeah, I don't either. So I can't really give you much insight on it. It's just another way of looking at the information, but I don't know how really helpful it is. Libraries we were at, extra modules. I think we worked with dynamic mirroring phase before. This is actually, you would have to have some items in the quick zap tray and also in the main hold tray. And what would happen here is, and I don't have it in the quick zap, that's why it's not letting me go there. It would alternate between the items in the quick zap and in the main hold tray. So that's a nice way if you want to work with all of those items. Synergistics, again, I don't really work with this too frequently. We can just see, I can put in the item rescue remedy, and we could hit begin analysis and see if the genius thinks the group of us needs this. So basically what this is saying, we might need it more on how it will affect us from a spiritual aspect, but and possibly the body too, because it's almost a closed circle. It's, as far as the energy fields, it's not quite 50%, and the mind, it's about 50%. So again, I don't know. I don't really use this quite frequently. Karen or Claire, do you use the synergistics?
Generally, yeah.
Rarely.
Yeah, it's kind of more time consuming. It's a nice idea. It's fun to play with occasionally, but I don't really use it that frequently. And response report, again, there's some information in here. I don't use this.
It's tedious to set up the response assessment because you have to sort of, it works on the last panel that you viewed. So if you want to check something like you did in synergistics, but want to know how the numbers or values will change, then that's what you have to do. Say you go into organs under system overview, then come to response assessment, then put the item that you wanted to check in the top title bar, and then run it.
Well,
And
would I have to go? I couldn't just, let's say, put rescue remedy in there, or
you could, it's a bit wishy-washy to do it against such a panel. It's one of those things where it's helpful if you've got something practical that you want to
you mean
analyze.
like, no, you need to know the number?
No. If you were to go back to sort of say,
Okay, so let's just go back. Where should I go?
go to organs or digestion, and then we'll put something in that will help that. Okay.
Liver?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so our liver is at a 9.
well, you're fine on digestion. So then go back to your response assessment. And then put,
Now this is all changed.
yeah.
So it changes every time you go out and back in.
So it's the last panel that you actually visually looked at. So say you wanted something to improve the liver and the enzymes, the large
That I
intestine.
put in my curcumin.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, curcumin plus. And I'm just going to type it as it appears on the bottle. Okay, and then just hit begin analysis.
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
I have to select.
Select all. Yeah.
So the curcumin will be beneficial for the esophagus, not so much for the flora. It will help the small intestine.
It's going to be good for the flora because it brings the flora
Oh,
down.
to the 519. Yeah, because these, and it makes it like more of sort of more chronic, right? It doesn't.
Remember, you're looking at the numbers, so it's bringing the small intestine down from a red to sort of like just above a blue, not
Right.
necessarily an improvement. Pancreas, not an improvement, that's taking it down to a
So the
blue.
gallbladder would not be an improvement.
No.
The stomach would not be an improvement. My mouth would be an improvement. Well, our mouth would be an improvement because it went to 522.
Yeah, so that's the kind of roundabout way of using it, but again, it's time consuming, it's a bit tedious.
Yeah. So this is just to kind of show what all these different, oh, I didn't mean to do that, sorry. Probably Neuro Remedy is best to look at after the next update because there were still some items that had to be corrected in here. Accessories, I'm putting this back to stereo. I think that's why I'm not hearing it so great. I was messing around with these with the Zoom the other day, but you do want to have it on stereo, so that might help. If you have the energy coil, you would want to change this to the left channel only. And other settings, if you want to turn on and off, if you have the 3D animation, you can turn it on from here. And the Quanta Capsule, you can add members from here, but really I would never go into it from here because in the membership you can go into it in there. And then frequency, shape, and form, let me know if anybody needs to go in there, but I think we've reviewed that a few times. Settings, if here is where you can automatically assign all your libraries to everyone. And for most people, I think that that's probably where you would want it. Otherwise, you have to go into your back office every time and add to client. And this can also be for some new users why they think they've imported libraries and then they start with a new client and they're like, there are no libraries there. Well, if you don't have this selected to automatically assign the libraries to everyone, then you need to go, whenever you have a new client, you need to either go into libraries and add all the libraries to the client, or you need to go here and automatically assign them all. If you wanted to update your email, and so change the email for your Genius, you can do it here. Just remember you need to let, just remember that's done because it will change it. So anybody who might send you frequencies will need to know your new Genius email if you choose to change it. And
Okay.
here you can update, you can sync from here. You just have to click on this line. I'm not going to select that right now. And bug reporting, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. You can go in there if you have notice any bugs and report it. Quantum membership, I'm not going to go into that right now because we don't have that much time. Guided imagery. There's lots of stuff in here that you can listen to these guided imageries if you so choose. I haven't really worked with that so much.
Denise, can I just you can only listen to them once for free, and I think after that they have to be purchased.
Okay, so there you go. Custom playlists, if anybody has questions on setting up custom playlists, maybe that's a good thing to do for next Thursday, given that we are almost at the top of the hour, and we could spend a little time setting up some custom playlists for everybody. Other than that, the referral link is pretty self-explanatory. If you want to send your referral link to someone, you just want to click on this and then you can copy and paste it, or you can text it to someone from here. But it's a great easy way to get your link. It's always there at your fingertips. So anybody have any questions before we sign off? I know that we didn't really do a scan today, but I hope everybody found this helpful. And so Margaret's saying, now to buy libraries, just go to the website. Yes, you can you can do that, or you can create some. So anyway, I just wanted to thank everybody. I hope you found this to be a good teaching, training, one that you can come back to and look at. And again, if there is anything that you need further explanation on, you can always email me at Denise@Inside Health Apps and ask the question, or tune in next Thursday and ask your question, and either myself, Claire, Connie, Karen, who's a wealth of knowledge, all of us are here to help you. So thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend. For all of those in the States, have a wonderful, happy, healthy, and safe 4th of July. And we'll see you all next Thursday. Thank you. Bye. And